Thank you so much for coming here today. And it has been a pleasure to work with South-Based RMC. In 50 plus years of my professional experience, that does not include Bosco and Wager while I was going to college. As an engineer, if somebody asked me which organization was the best, I would proudly say it was US Navy. That really comes to the bottom of my heart. As I shared this with you and I told my boss, Mr. Cassis, Southwest RMC, unknown to them, gave me the best farewell retirement gift. And that gift was that they made a job offer for my son, Michael Azimi, who will carry the torch with dedication and love as I have done in the past. So I'm very pleased that he will soon be joining the Southwest RMC as a co. Also my thanks to the coordinator, Mr. Castellano, Sarah Gilmore, and Tarsha Green, and Senior Chief. Thank you so much, Costello, for everything that you did. Also the members of the Code 262, my beloved code. Thank you, Walter Price. Thank you, Paulo Lasso, the Godfather. Fantastic technical coordinators. Without you, I could not have done it. That 262 has a large ratio of employees to supervisors. You guys carried a lot of load, and we had lots of fun working together. So, what were the handwritings on the wall that I saw and told me, hey, it is time to retire? First, it was when I was riding in a bus and subway in Thailand, when the young students stood up and gave me their seat. Wow. That is what I used to do when I was a kid. So I must be getting old. So then I come home, 32nd Street, multi-lanes. I approach the security. I don't have my card. You know their routine, embarrassment. They take your driver's license, they stop all the traffic, you have to make a turnaround. Well, I don't have the guts to call my boss, come and get me, Randy.
Good move.
So I called PJ. Well, PJ is not here, code 262. He knows the cipher lock combination. He knows that he takes my CAD card from the computer and brings it past the decal office. I'm there, I'm able to come back. That was the sign number 2. Sign number 3. I walk into Randy's office without a paper note and without a pen, and we sit down and he starts telling me things to do. And I'm saying, yes, yes, no problem, no problem. Only to come to my desk, I said, what did he tell me? What do I do? Nothing. I do nothing. Because I know he has a memory of an elephant. He's going to write me an email sooner or later. And he would. Oh my God, this is what he wants. So I go in high speed, work overtime without telling him, just to beat the deadline. Those 3 indicators told me it's time to go. However, for those of you who are here, especially the young generation, who thinks working in Southwest RMC is easy, all you have to do, look at Patrick Horton, right there. He was a young mechanical engineer, college graduate, with full hair, blonde hair, working with me in the elevator. And I know he carried a paperback called The Onion Fields. Remember that? He used to read that while we were waiting for the tag out to take place. Also, Cesar Herrera, look at that. Same. Young college, but he barely has any hair left. As for me, whatever few hair that I have, I'm blessed. Now, coming to America as a foreign exchange student, American Field Service, why do they call it American Field Service? Because in the World War II, these guys were ambulance drivers. They went and picked up the wounded, and they felt the misery that there is with war. The war movies may look exciting on the cinema, but it is really bad scene when you are in it. So they came and said, we have to do something to better the world. and they started the exchange student program. And I was glad that I was one of them to come. And when I talk about my experiences, people tell me, Mr. Azimi, you should write a book about yourself. I said, a book about myself? What do I call it? Memoirs of Alan Azimi, who would care? Then after a while, I thought I would call it Abbas Comes to America. That would be the title of my book. Now, for you to appreciate how much I hate my given name, Abbas, it happens to be a very religious name in Iran. A name like that for a non-religious person, for me, wasn't appropriate. And because of that, Abbas Azimi on the passenger manifest, it always flags me. Out goes my suitcase, they open it up, and they fail to put the lock back. So I have a big sign, TSP, please lock up. It was in 1942, in a small town, population less than 25,000, in northwestern part of Iran. It is World War II. The Soviet army has invaded Azerbaijan and my hometown. This little town would get isolated 4 months of the year from the rest of the country. Because it would snow, no truck can leave, no truck could come, 4 months of total isolation. It had no electricity, no running water, and no hospital, no antibiotics. How I lived, sometimes I think I must be the chosen one. It came as a blessing in disguise that my mother contracted TB, tuberculosis, and the only hospital in the country was a hospital in Tehran. We all migrated from that little town to Tehran. And then that migration opened a new window of opportunity for me. And that simply began, I signed up for English as a second language. The first thing that impressed me, wow, unlike our classes, that the boys go to one class, the girls go to one class, this English class is co-educational. I was very thrilled to have females as my school. So I was trying to impress them. I could not impress them with my good looks or good attire, which I did not have, so I decided I must be the best in English in my class. And I did that. Come to 10th grade, the teacher said, we're going to have a competition in the school to see who is the best in English. The 10th grader and 12th grader, we are the ones from our high school. And we're all to go to another high school on Friday where there will be an exam. I said, what kind of exam is that going to be? So I don't know. It could be composition. So I came home and prepared myself to the likely possibility of the topic that they would ask us about the benefits of exchange program. So I go to this high school, all these rich kids with good clothing and all that are sitting there, and me from the poverty-stricken southern Tehran sitting down there. The teacher came, although Iranian, but this time Iran is speaking English. You have 45 minutes to complete your essay. And the topic is, what my country would benefit from my visit to USA. Man, I was ready to kick it. All these essays were not looked at in Iran, thanks God. Otherwise I would have no chance of selection. You went to American Field Service in New York City. There they selected only 8 candidates, 3 boys and 5 girls. They came to US. And it was in August of 1959 that I arrived in Des Moines, Iowa, and met my American family. Now, let me help you visualize what I looked like as a 17-year-old from Iran. My shirt was not tailor-made. It was handmade by my mother with a special color and patterns. What still I remember are the pajama pants that she had made for me, 4 of them. All the same design, big long stripes, similar to US flag. We have red and white, but this one was green and white, thanks God. And it was loose, so whenever the wind came, it would make each one of my foot swell like that, big cylinders. I looked like a clown just came off the circus. Then my family passed the word to the members of the church that this kid really needs clothing, and thanks to them they brought me clothing, and I blended in with the high school. I remember the first time I was there shopping with my American mother, I grabbed the 2 grocery bags to take it to the car because I want to impress the polite boy. As I get to the door, the door is closed. So I turn around with the bags in my hand, and walk back, trying to hit the door. Next thing I know, I'm outside and the door has opened. Welcome to automation. Years went by. Here, I was in Iran in 1972. I worked for World Bank for 2 years. Then became a consulting engineer for the largest development, 7,000 modern apartment complex in Iran. It was in that time frame that the Iranian Revolution hit. Everything is chaos. Myself, plus 4 other contractors, we are meeting with the Ministry of Labor, asking him to help us to bring security for the job site so that we can do our job. He continued to ask questions. I don't see a word. Finally, he said, if you had no managerial skill, you had no business hiring 5,000 engineers and workers. What the heck do you want me to do? At that point, I opened my attaché case and picked up the Time magazine. In the front page of the cover magazine was Ecuador housing, the most successful construction project in Middle East. I said, Your Honor, contrary to what you think of us, the world thinks that we are highly capable managers. We are the best in the Middle East. He saw me, and he saw the Time magazine in his hand. He put the 2 and 2 together. Who is that westernized mind, may I ask? And I said, I don't know which farm this most westernized mind has grown. I went to America as a busboy, as a waiter. Now I've come over here, helping my country. Long story short, he rang the bell, and the Revolution Guard came and kicked me out. Then I left and came to USA and began to work. I'm pleased to say I have been very active with the Amnesty International. In my lifetime, I've done 2 things which are my legacy. Number 1, building of the House of Iran in Balboa Park, as most of you have seen. I was the founder. I was the one who made the fundraising and was president for a number of years. Number 2 is the 5 human lives I saved by getting them political asylum. One of them is my brother right here, Bruce Azimi. Others are physicians, and other young ladies who will be a professor of infectious disease at UCSD. Now, as I stand in front of you, and I don't want to sound political, but this is my social observation, really. I feel very, very nervous, and I feel heartbroken at some of my fellow Americans. Because for decades, we hear the sounds and the voices of fascism from the continent and countries afar. But today, we hear them from the words of our presidential candidate. Our young men died in the beaches of Normandy to defeat fascism, to defeat Nazism. It embarrasses me to get calls from Germany. They are telling me, their Spiegel, it's a very famous magazine, 1 million publication, had made comparison of Trump with Hitler. But I find that very heartbreaking. Why the world should regard our candidates in this fashion, and why our candidates should be behaving in a way to be regarded as such. It all began, as you know, got the Germans' attention when the candidate insulted 2 billion Muslims in the world, followed by insulting the Mexicans, our next door neighbor. I don't know how many of you have listened to Mr. Azar Khan. He lives in Washington, D.C., naturalized U.S. citizen, and he has advanced degree from Harvard University in the School of Law. His wife is a college professor. His son is a graduate in biotech from Virginia University and has a biotech company. His youngest son, you have heard of him, Humayun Khan, Captain Humayun Khan. While serving in Iraq, a vehicle approaches. The first thing he does, he orders his men for safety, but he takes the bold step ahead only to be blown up. Now, any human being listening to this history will have a compassion. And I hate to say this, this is not political. But he, representing our country, Mr. Trump, opens up his mouth, insults this brave family. Followed with him insulting the military with the Purple Heart. I'm lost, somebody needs to help. I know it is common practice among the devout Muslims, really, they put a verse of Quran next to their heart. This man, Mr. Khan, he carries a constitution next to his heart. That is the kind of American I feel proud of. Not the ones who violate and insult the Constitution of the United States and its military. 1976, I was in Iran, and I hear the things there's going to be bicentennial. I said, at all costs, I must go to Philadelphia, like a pilgrimage, and pay my tribute to our fathers who liberated this country. I went. I got two things from there. One, as you have all seen, in Congress, July 4, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13th United States of America, also known as Declaration of Independence. Those brave men who put their signatures, they did not live to be kings and queens or high politicians. They were killed and persecuted by the British. These brothers were revolutionaries, and they were not very liked by the British. So how much of them paid a big price? I preserve it like so. I took this with me to Iran. After 1979, when I came, I brought it with me. Yes, I took a chance putting it in my suitcase, knowing that those brothers would not know what this is all about, and they didn't. Has been in my office all along. Now I take it with me. The other thing that I bought is this pin on the bicentennial. As you will see, it has a U.S. flag, and in front of the U.S. flag is the Statue of Liberty raising up the torch. Well, on this occasion, I hope that torch to shed its light upon the graveyards, upon the dungeons and the prison of all those freedom-loving men and women throughout the world who are guilty of nothing but their love of liberty. Thank you so much, and God bless you.